Today has been a very busy day for the CS for Finance as he was presenting a budget statement for the year 2024-2025. And there are a number of issues that emerged from his budget statement. But today we will focus on the SMS, a number of SMS that were sent by citizens to their representative in order to influence the verdict of the budget 2024-2025. Before we look into that, kindly, if you are watching this channel for the first time, subscribe and turn on the subscriber button so that whenever we produce another video, YouTube will automatically notify you. And for our resident subscribers, thank you. Continue watching, sharing and sharing and sharing. You are our pillars. Back to our main topic, the SMS rejection of a budget. It is somehow evident that Kenyan citizens are now fully participating in the budget making process because they have actively been involved in the recent past in public participation of this budget, even including whereby the main media stream have organized for public participation. As if that was not enough, Kenyans have gone further to send SMS to their representatives to condemn and reject the proposed budget that was presented before the House, that's the National Assembly today. My big question is, why do you think the Kenyans resulted into sending SMS whereas they have their representatives who can address their issues in the House? They give a number of reasons as to why Kenyans were motivated into sending messages to various representatives, of which some of them have come out to acknowledge that they received a number of SMS. A good example of them is the Majority Whip, Sylvanus Osoro, who said that he received up to 3,000 messages, of which a half of them were Fagra. So I'm going to highlight some of the reasons as to why Kenyans resulted into writing SMS to their members of parliament. One, the high costs of living. Most Kenyans have been straining such that you cannot differentiate between the employed and unemployed, apart from the few billionaires. This is because those few who are employed, say policemen, teachers, and nurses, for example, and others in various government sectors, have got to serve a number of people in their community. So the little they get it has got to be divided to several households, their mother, to their family, to institutions like schools. So they have been facing tough times, especially this financial year that has just concluded. And the prices of products were very high. At the beginning of this financial year, the price of maize flour was very high, and most Kenyans depend on the flour, the maize flour, for their daily meals. So they have been just straining from the beginning of the month to the end of the month. In addition to that, there were high costs. The cost of transportation was very high. So making their ends meet was just next to impossible. So that could be the one reason as to why several Kenyans had to send an SMS to various members of parliament, and including the top leadership. Another reason is that most of these Kenyans today are educated, unlike 1980s whereby a few of them were educated. Most of them are very much educated. They are jobless, and they don't want bookworming statements. They don't want the CS for finance to go to parliament and read notes, well-made notes for a first year in masters taking economics or finance or business administration, telling Kenyans this is how we are going to improve the economy. I call them notes because they have become traditional. They read them time and again, and Kenyans don't see any change. So there is a high number of people who are employed and who have access to mobile phones, and therefore they are able to follow on the debates that are taking all over the republic. So the aspect of educated, knowledgeable, aware individuals who are aware of what is taking place are many. So they keep on watching on the behavior of their members of parliament who are entitled to protect them. Another point is Kenyans have signed a contract with their members of parliament who are their representatives and who are going to assent to that finance bill. Members of parliament are their representative. They have signed an agreement that they should work on their behalf. Article 1 of the Constitution provides that all the power and authority belongs to the people of Kenya, but should be exercised according to the Constitution. And the Constitution provides the avenues through which this power should be exercised, whereby representatives in parliament are a part of those who are the representatives of the people. So if we sign a contract with you, what is wrong when I tell you this document that you have prepared for me is wrong? So the Kenyans are exercising their direct democracy. There's nothing wrong when you tell your member of parliament that this is a document that is not meant for us. So it's another way or another avenue whereby a member of parliament cannot run away. No, they normally keep off their phones. But with us, an SMS, even if he puts his phone under his bed, under the mattress, or anywhere else that until the budget is over, the SMS will always wake him up. Imagine receiving 3,000 SMS from citizens. And maybe were voted in by, say, 6,000, or you want by 6,000. That means half of citizens, half of your representatives are telling you, move slow on this document. I've said the major reason is that the cost of living is unbearable. Another point could be unemployment. Most Kenyans, young people, have either completed their studies and they have no job opportunities. Maybe the few job opportunities that are available are for teaching, and which are highly competitive. And of course, the government has suspended employment of government institutions, but I heard that for education, there was allocation of money for junior secondary schools. Of course, that's good. And I also noted during the speech that last year there was employment of about 800,000 people, if I got it right, and something that was perceived to be positive. However, the big question is, how many people went on retire last year? And how many people died? As well as how many people resigned? If you do the matrix properly, you will find that the just concluded financial year, there was no employment. So that's what is making people to be very bitter. In addition, we have those who have retired, should be getting their pension. They are drained. They have been kept waiting. Instead of them being given their pension so that they can enjoy their remaining days with their children, maybe ensuring that they complete their education, you find that they are not given. But the cost of living is increasing day and day. That's why Kenyans are sending several SMS that the Honorable Osoro cannot bear receiving them. We have another issue of pending bills. I can call them, these are lenders, internal lenders to the government, who have provided services to the government. They have not been paid for quite a long time, but the government or the Njuguna budget is increasing taxes, is increasing the cost of living. That's why these people are saying, these are the people who are sending the messages. They are vending bills, which I had also the CS for finance say that they are under investigation up to around October, meaning that there will be an increase, taxes, communication, and everything else, and even the beer that they take so as to forget about the pending bills has also increased. They take the strong one so that at least they forget. So it has also increased. Now these are the people who are lighting these SMS condemning any passing of the budget bill. It's better they could have retained it as it was last year. And we also have an experience from the past budgets. For example, last year was a nice budget. Even today, it was a very wonderful budget presentation. Very wonderful. But remember, I called it a book warmer. Just notes. If the budget as presented can be implemented, people will not argue. They will not see the same SMS that they have seen. But the budget policy, in most cases, is poorly made. That's why the government is holistically combining the amount of capitation or the amount given to various ministries holistically, instead of identifying specifically that this amount of money is specifically going to where for irrigation. These billions or millions will be expanding the Moya irrigation scheme, but you will find them talking of expansion of irrigation when you don't mention where it is going to work. It means the money is going to work in a few individuals' pockets. However, there were some instances when he was talking of the allocation of funds to maybe hospitals. I heard him mention a few hospitals. Now that is the budget. When you read or you identify where the money is going directly. Now when you say Moi Referral Hospital, you are directly indicating where the money is going, and everyone knows the money is going to Moi Referral Hospital. If the person is in Kilifi, he knows this amount of money went to Moi Referral Hospital. And like telling us that I've allocated 60 billion to go to hospitals or to referral hospitals. When you allocate like that, it means the money is going to individuals' pockets. Another reason as to why the citizens were sending SMS to various members of parliament is due to the aspect of parliamentary capture. I recently made and I did an episode on the parliamentary capture, whereby members of parliament don't want to exercise their sovereignty. They will go there to parliament and simply look at, if you are from UDA, you look at what Kimani Ichung'wah is doing or is saying. You stick to it as a tick. Because when Kimani Ichung'wah speaks in parliament, he has his man at one corner, the chief whip Osoro, who he tells to stand with a whip. If he looks at you looking around and they doubt you that you don't want to ask according to the party, even if it's something that is unhelpful to people, then they will whip you. Ichung'wah will just signal. He will use his eye to signal or sorrow to whip you. That's how funny things are in parliament. It has totally been captured. Whenever they are in parliament, if a phone call comes from just a mere secretary from the top offices like State House and meets Kimani Ichung'wah, Kimani then will turn it to be Ichung'wah to deal with the issues according to the information or according to directives from State House. The same applies to the opposition. If one of them, we have this Mbadi, then the current chairman of ODM, if a phone call comes from Capitol Hill, then everything changes. Even if they were supporting a good idea, everything changes, and they will, within a short or a fraction of a second, they will change everything. In addition, it has been a tradition that they read budget, they allocate some good amounts to their offices, they tax people to pay their employees every year with a number of budgets given a given infrastructure which don't happen, and a very good explanation like today was given by the CS for finance. He said that much of the allocations that were meant for development were diverted to emergencies, and one wonders why he cannot allocate funds for emergencies. So those sending messages are just worried that they will increase our money, they will increase the taxes, they will leave us with nothing, but it is just a tradition. And still, workers will be crying because of the delayed salary payments. Have a pleasant evening as we continue further interrogating the budget. Thank you.